The spectre of a regional war looms ever larger as explosions echo across Beirut's night sky. As Israel continues to pound Hezbollah targets, morning brings more explosions and terror, with Israel doubling down on its strikes in response to Hezbollah rocket and missile launches deep into Israeli territory. Among those killed is Hezbollah's high-profile leader Hassan Nasrallah, a targeted assassination celebrated by Israel's leadership.
Nasrallah was not just another terrorist, he was the terrorist. He was the axis of the axis, the central engine of Iran's axis of evil.
This operation closed a years-long account with the mass murderer Nasrallah, whose hands are stained with the blood of thousands.
Nasrallah's death has sparked promises of revenge in a statement read on Lebanese TV. Scenes of destruction in Lebanon emerge from the smoke as the dust settles in the latest round of missile strikes. Clouds of rubble reveal more lives shattered by the spreading conflict. Since September 23, more than 1,000 people have been killed here, a further 6,000 wounded, according to Lebanon's health ministry. Israel is projecting pictures of military strength. This polished IDF video showing the fighter jets which killed Hassan Nasrallah. Israel's military propaganda backed by promises from the country's prime minister to continue fighting this war.
We are at what it appears to be a historic turning point. We're winning. We're determined to continue to strike at our enemies, return our residents to their homes, and return all of our hostages.
As the war expands, so too are the impacts felt by the citizens of Israel, Lebanon and Gaza. Hezbollah is a far more formidable foe than Hamas, as air raid sirens and a fearful scramble for cover in Tel Aviv shows. Israel suffered heavy losses in its botched 2006 war with Hezbollah, an invasion it considered a military defeat, and a failure that still haunts Israel today. The question now is whether ramping up attacks on Hezbollah will force it to back down or escalate the conflict even further. Catherine Diss, ABC News, Jerusalem.
So on the brink of all-out war, the Middle East is now bracing for retaliation from Hezbollah. Israel is massing troops and tanks along its northern border. Grief and fury are sweeping through the streets of Lebanon as locals there come to grips with the deepening conflict.
Shock on the streets of the Lebanese capital and an outpouring of grief for Hassan Nasrallah. For some, the Hezbollah leader was a national hero, his death sending shockwaves through the region and fears of what comes next. Israel is massing troops along its border with Lebanon.
Mr. President, is a ground incursion into Lebanon inevitable? Time for a ceasefire.
Iran's supreme leader says Israel will pay for Nasrallah's killing and has now gone into hiding. The world will be watching Iran's next move.
Israel is trying to provoke Iran and Hezbollah. So the Iran leadership, I think, are behaving extremely responsibly.
Analysts say Nasrallah's killing is a huge blow for Hezbollah and Iran, and his influence reached beyond Lebanon.
He was the main figure of training Houthis, Hamas, and other militias in Iraq and other parts of the region.
The head of Hezbollah since 1992, Nasrallah claimed victory against Israel in 2000, when Israel withdrew from southern Lebanon with help from the UN. And he also helped ensure Bashar al-Assad's survival in Syria.
His role is so significant, and I don't see any possibility for Iran to replace him with a person at the same level.
Israel has gone further, faster than anyone expected. Its actions are potentially reshaping the region, but the humanitarian impacts are huge, the long-term effects uncertain, and the fighting is far from over. Eric Twarchek, ABC News.